and then the fruit itself being the final products of seva, and how the those fruits will have to be empowered. Basically, the people that we create, the relationships that we come in, how these have to be empowered is what is mentioned in the later part. So we shall read the Murli now. Bap Dada comes into this corporeal body and world in order to take you all far away from your bodies and this world. Isn't it? Right from the very first line, we start understanding that there are lots of deeper words here. Here, it's clearly mentioned that Bap Dada comes into this corporeal body and the world in order to take all of us from our bodies from this world to Parandham, the resident of the faraway land, comes to make everyone a resident of the faraway land. It's a correction here. These bodies will not go to the faraway land. That is, from the corporeal world, the bodies would not go to Parandham. But pure souls will go to their land with their father. Are you ready to go with him? Or is there still something remaining for you to pack? So, Papa, from here on, ask questions. When you move from one place to another, you pack all the expansion and transform everything. So, what preparations do you need to make to go to the faraway land, your sweet home? All expansion has to be merged into a point. As we are moving or traveling from one place to another, we would be having so many things in different bags, in different cupboards, in different parts of our room. But we tend to pack up everything into suitcases, into trolley bags, and take them along. Baba similarly asks, if you have to leave from this corporeal world to faraway land, would you or would you merge everything and go? What are the preparations that you would make? Have you imbibed the powers to accommodate and to pack up to this extent according to the time? If you receive Bapdada's direction to go with him in a second, would you be able to merge the expansion in a second? Baba here is attaching a timeline and checking our preparedness. That are we ready enough or capable enough of merging everything and making our move within a second? That is to merge everything in a second and move with him in a second. Are you able to become detached from all the different households of your body, your worldly households, the household of service, the household of thoughts and sanskars of your own weaknesses that still remain, and become loving in order to go with the Father? In a way, Baba here gives overall pictures of what we are still yet to merge. So we have our households, our body, the households of our body, the worldly households, that's our relationship, then our centers, our services, then our thoughts and sanskars and weaknesses. All this will have to be merged, packed up, and then we have to leave with the Father becoming loving. These are certain things that are yet to be. Baba is asking, are you ready to leave all this and move with one Father? Or would some households pull you to themselves? Have you moved away from all sides of the different households, or will some of those sides become your temporary support and distance you from the Father's support and His company? When you have the thought that you now have to go, or you receive the direction that you now have to go, then would you be able to fly by stabilizing yourself on a double light flying seat? Have you made such preparation, or would you think that you still have to do this and that? Are you able to use the power to back, or will you remember the expansion of my service, my center, my students, my worldly family, or my worldly work? All these are checking points. So we can just for a second or few seconds, what are certain things that we are holding on to? Maybe that we might not get the answer right away, today being a smoother day probably, but we have to be prepared in case we are attaching a timeline to merging all things. How much time would I take to pack up everything, to detach my ideas from everything and move with one path? That's to get into at least in the stage of yoga. How much time do I take to stabilize there? Okay, moving ahead. You wouldn't have this thought, will you? You present a drama in which you have different thoughts about the things that you have to do before you return. Just as in that drama, you wouldn't be deprived of the right to a seat to return back home with the Father, will you? Baba says, even in this drama, we would not be deprived of any seat. Present, you are going into a lot of expansion. Baba is giving us this observation that we are all moving into a lot of expansion. So let us read ahead. What is the sign of going into expansion? After a tree has grown fully, it merges into a seed. So service now is growing very fast and it has to grow. However, to the extent that it grows, do not forget to become detached from the growth and be loving to the one that you are going to go back with. Make sure that no strings of attachment still remain on any side. The strings on all sides should always be loose. That is, take leave from everyone in advance. For instance, before they die, people here arrange the final ceremonies that they want to be carried out. So they have bidden farewell. In the same way, bid farewell to the bondages of your households in advance. Celebrate the final ceremony in advance. Risa Baba suggesting that celebrate the final ceremony in advance. Keep the flying seat of the flying stage constantly ready. In today's world, when a war starts in any country, they have everything in place for the king or president of that country to lead the country. Isn't it? There's this example of the recent coup in Bangladesh or in Syria when the presidents of that country left as soon as the war broke up. So Baba is asking that similarly there exists certain deep tunnels or ways and means to flee the country in case of a war. So Baba is explaining at that time there is no margin even to issue an order to get something ready. As soon as they receive a signal of a war, they run. What would happen otherwise? Instead of being a king or president, they would become jailbirds. Souls who are instruments and have temporary rights also have everything prepared in advance. So who are you? You are the hero actors of this confluence age. That is, you are special souls. You also need to have all preparations ready beforehand, do you not? Or will you make preparations at the last time? You are only going to receive a margin of 1 second. So Baba is asking us, like the way the corporeal and in the present world, the presidents and the kings do to flee the country in case of a war. Baba is asking, in case you have to leave this earth today, are you all ready? How much time would you take? And have you all prepared to do that? So Baba is saying you're only going to receive a margin of 1 second. So what will you do at that time? You won't even have any margin to think. Those who think, should I do this or not? I should do this. I should do that will become part of the procession rather than companions. Therefore, is the stage of your vehicle of the subtle body ready? That is the vehicle of the stage of being free from the bondage of karma, karmati, the final vehicle with which you will fly with the Father in a second, ready? Or are you continuing how much time you still are, or are you counting how much time do you still have? This is still to happen, that will happen, and after that, this will happen. You do not think in this way, do you? Make all your preparations. You may also adopt facilities for service. You may even make new plans. Baba is again reconciling after question that you you may have adopted all facilities for service. You might have even made new plans. However, don't tie strings to the side and then leave them there. Whilst being involved in all the household, don't forget to become a lotus. And don't forget your preparations for returning home. When it comes to the facilities for service, don't forget the vehicle of your final stage, that is, the elevated means of becoming loving and detached. That is, this should be our stage when we are leaving this body, that is, to become lovely and detached. Do plenty of service, but don't let go of the speciality of being detached. There is now a need to practice this. You either become completely detached or you become completely loving. Baba is observing that while performing all this, while being even good, being a good progressive yogi, we are still either completely attached or completely loving. The Baba says, therefore, maintain a balance of being loving and detached. Do service, but do it whilst being detached from the consciousness of mind. Do you understand what you have to do? So Baba says somewhere we are attached to the consciousness of mind. You are you are now preparing new strings while the old ones are being broken. New observation again. Baba says, yes, that's great. You're creating new methods of service, but those strings have to be cut down. I mean, the existing ones have to be cut down before the new, while the new ones have already begun. So the quota of detachment is only increasing. The quota for detachment is only increasing. Even though you understand everything, you're tying new strings because they are sparkling strings. So what do you have to do this year? Bapdada sees as the detached observer the children's game. You are going ahead of each other in the race of the bondage of strings. So, in the midst of the expansion, maintain the form of essence. So, while Baba is asking, what do you have to do this year? The line here is the answer. That is, maintain the form of essence in midst of expansion. At present, the quantity of the result of service is very good. But now let the quantity also be full of quality. Quantity is needed in the task of establishment. However, would you like it if there were an expanse of leaves on a tree but no fruit? That is only quantity and no quality. Should there be fruit and flowers or just leaves? The leaves are the decoration of the tree, and the fruit is a source of life for all time. So make every soul into a form of instant and practical fruit. That is, pay special attention to making them into embodiment of experience of virtues and powers. The Baba is saying that let your contribution to people, it's your contribution towards expansion, be fruitful, that, that it gives qualitative result and we bring in souls which already are embodiments of experience of virtues and powers. The growth is good, but pay special attention to teaching them the method of becoming constantly powerful souls who are destroyers of obstacles. So Baba is now defining probably the quality parameters of these souls that we are preparing or the way we are building up our relationships, the souls that we are coming in contact or giving them some amount of Baba's knowledge. So Baba is saying the following checks have to be done. I mean, following quality has to be filled in them. So first Baba said, let us make them the the embodiments of experiences of virtues and power. And second, Baba is making us, telling us to make the other souls constantly powerful and they should be destroyers of obstacles. So further continuing, as well as enabling growth, also pay special attention to teaching them the way to become embodiments of success. So the another one is we have to make them embodiments of success. They will become loving and cooperative according to their capacity. But you have to increase the special attention you pay to them so that they become powerful souls who are able to face their obstacles and old sanskars and become Mahavirs. Now, increase the quantity of higher quality souls who have a right to self sovereignty and so world sovereignty. Many have become servers, but now bring onto the world's stage the souls who are full of all powers and specialities. So Baba expects these from us, the ones we are preparing, the ones whom we are coming in contact, we have to build in all these characters, all these specialities, and bring them to the world stage. This year, especially, become an embodiment of experience and a mine of experiences, and give the great donation of making all souls into embodiments of experience so that every soul becomes like Angad on the basis of their experience. Not that they are just moving along, just doing, listening, sharing, etc. But instead, let them sing songs of having attained the treasure of experience and swing in the swing of happiness. So instead of just making them do or listen or share or just walk along, let us make them the treasures of experience and happiness. This year, as well as enthusiasm for service, let enthusiasm for the flying state also increase. Together with enthusiasm for service, celebrate such a festival that your enthusiasm remains unsuppressible. Do you understand? Constantly have enthusiasm for the flying state and increase everyone's enthusiasm. It should come out spontaneously and natural and constantly. This year, each one of you has to keep aim of serving souls of different professions and make each one of them belong to the Father. However, all of them have to be spiritual roses. A tree can be of a variety in which there are VIPs, souls of different occupations, ordinary people, and also villagers. However, with the mind of experiences, make everyone into an embodiment of experience and attainment and bring them to the Father. So Baba is saying, let us bring professionals from all walks of life, but they should be spiritual souls. So Baba says, persons, the souls such who make them, who bring such a professional, such a group, such a team to Baba are the ones who would be called spiritual roses. Baba says such ones are called spiritual roses. Make a bouquet, but don't allow there to be any consciousness of mine. My bouquet is the best of all. They would not then be able to become spiritual roses. Baba puts a QA point here that there should not be any trace of mine here. While you're preparing so many souls, you should not be able to tell that I was the one who made this. You see, I am the one. My group of people are the best. Baba said it's not mine. Baba explains further. When you have any consciousness of mind, the bouquet wilts. Therefore, consider them to be Baba's children. Forget that they are yours. Baba says why? That is, if you make them yours, you will distance those souls from their unlimited rights. No matter how great a soul is, a soul cannot be said to be omniscient. That is one who knows everything. For example, if I'm making a group of people, I am not the one who is entirely knowledgeable, right? So Baba is saying, similarly, you, if you're making a group of people, you would not be enough empowered to give that courage or knowledge to everyone. That's what please connect them to Baba. They are not called oceans, so don't deprive any souls of their unlimited inheritance. Otherwise, later on, those souls will complain that those who made them belong to them. In so doing, deprive them of. At that time, you won't be able to bear their cries of sorrow. Their cries of sorrow will be coming from hearts filled with sorrow. So pay special attention to understanding this special aspect. You may do special service. Use whatever powers you have, the power of your body, the power of your mind, the power of your wealth, the power of cooperating, even the power of time for a powerful task. Don't think about the future. You accumulate however much you use. Baba says, while doing service, you use all powers, but just connect them to me. Do you understand what you have to do? Use all your powers. Constantly fly in the flying state and also take others into the flying state. You have also received a slogan for enthusiasm. Have you not? Baba says this year celebrate a double festival and all of you also prepare a bouquet of spiritual roses. Those who have come here today are also a variety bouquet. Souls have come from everywhere. This is not a variety bouquet from this land and abroad, is it not? So Baba, as during the Milan, Baba is saying there are variety of spiritual roses who have come there. Double foreigners have also claimed a share in the last day. Bap Dada is congratulating you for coming here. All of you have received congratulations, and so all of you have met. Have you not? Have all of you met? You have received congratulations. So what else remains? That's Toli. Therefore, all of you make a line and take your Toli. Such a time will also come. Since you are building such a big hall, what will the condition then be? The same system cannot continue for all time. This time, Baba especially satisfied the complaint of the children from Bharat. So there must have been construction going on for a larger hall. Baba is dwelling into that. So Baba is asking here, Baba is in fact addressing to the complaints of the children of Bharat. Every season has its own customs and systems. Just see what will happen next year. If Baba were to tell you now, there would be no pleasure in it. All of you will come with a bouquet, will you not? That is the group of people from different professions, walks of life, with a spiritual stinginess. Bring quality because together with quantity, you will be given a number on the basis of quality. Even the politicians are very clever at gathering a crowd. Let there be quantity but with quality. Bring such a bouquet. Don't bring a bouquet of just leaves. Acha. To those who are ever ready with a final vehicle, to those who are great donors, when it comes to making all souls embodiments of experience, to the souls who are constant instruments to give others the unlimited inheritance from the unlimited Father, the bestower of blessings and the bestower of fortune, to those who, as well as making souls into servers, also make them powerful, to those who achieve success and expansion by using the right method, to those who do service equal to that of a father and are detached from the service and loving and who will go back with the Father. To such close and equal souls, Bapdadas love, remembrance, and namaste. And a couple of two small pages So Baba has summarized his as regards his gratitude and blessings to people who fall in that category above. So Baba says meeting servers. There are instrument servers who give souls the Father's introduction and enable them to claim a right to their inheritance. And there are servers of the yogi. At this time, all of you are playing a part in serving the yajna. You know very well that the importance of serving the yajna is so great. How much importance is there in each grain of the yajna? Each grain is as valuable as a gold coin. If someone does as much as a grain of service, he earns and accumulates an income as valuable as a gold coin. So, you did not do service but accumulated an income. Firstly, you servers who are presently who, who are present there received the chance to stay in Madhub, the land of blessing, and secondly, you received the fortune of being in a constantly elevated atmosphere, and thirdly, you received the fortune of constantly accumulating an income. You servers automatically receive so many types of fortune, that is a seed, an atmosphere, and a future, a fortune of constantly accumulating an income. Baba says we are automatically receiving so many types of fortune. Baba says, do you souls do service considering yourselves to be such fortunate servers? Does your awareness have such spiritual intoxication, or do you forget this whilst you are serving? Servers with their own elevated fortune can become instruments for making others enthusiastic. All the servers remain free from obstacles for as long they remained engaged in service, free from obstacles even in their minds. When there is no type of obstacle or upheaval, that's what is to be an embodiment of success in service. No matter how much upheaval of sanskars and situations there may be, those who are constantly with Father and who constantly follow and see the Father remain constantly free from obstacles. So they have to just look at Baba and be with the Father to remain constantly free from obstacles. And that's when they would be called embodiments of success. Baba says, however, if you look at other souls or follow other souls, there will be fluctuation. The basis of attaining success in the service that is that servers have servers do is what the servers have to do is to see the Father and follow the Father. So, did all of you serve with an honest heart? How was your chart of remembrance whilst serving? Acha, you made your fortune elevate. The result is good. You are very fortunate souls because you received the chance to serve the yajna. Therefore, perform such a task that your memorial is created and that whenever there is a need, you are called. Those who serve tirelessly accumulate fruit for the present and also the future. All of you played your parts very well. So Baba is saying all of you played your parts very well at the end. So that concludes the Murli. So I hope after a pause, we shall have discussions and we shall have people sharing their ideas. So please share your take home messages. What did you understand or which point touched your heart? So if I may say that imagine a tree and the seed and the leaves and the fruits. So can somebody say what Baba mentioned with respect to all of these?
First thing he mentions is about being detached from all the branches. Perform the role that you are here for, but don't get entangled with the branches. If I look at that imagination of the tree that you're given, and further in the Murli Baba speaks about how service should be done. And one reflection there is service is nothing but playing our part completely as it's meant to be without having any strings attached to it. So there could be even areas where we may say, okay, this service has come to me, this service has not come to me, why it is happening so. So there are no questions in service. It's like whatever comes in, there's a part of Haji to be played in. These are a couple of reflections on what you just mentioned.
Absolutely, sister. Very well. Thank you. So what comes to your mind today? If I say roses, what did Baba mention in the context of roses? Anybody? Or a bouquet? Well, I shall share the answer. The Baba was talking in terms of gathering flowers to make a bouquet, and these flowers were nothing but the professionals, the villagers, and the different parts, folks, and people from different parts of the society. So Baba was saying to probably the center sisters or the Nim or us, in fact, that if you're coming in contact with different people and sharing knowledge with them, let us bring qualitative people with a spiritual intoxication in them and present them as a bouquet before the Father. I mean, whenever we greet people, we hand over a bouquet or different sets of flowers put together to people, right? So, in the similar way, Baba is saying, when you're coming to Madhuban this year, bring different people, different sets of flowers to him. So Baba has used the word concept in household very much in the initial part only. So Baba was in fact sharing the word household in the context of what are the things that are there with us, whom we have to leave. we leave with Baba. So can somebody share what are the different households that we're all in?
Nanda, can you repeat the question? Couldn't hear you in between.
What are the different things? Baba says these things as households. What are these households that we are all attached to that we have to leave before we can proceed to Parandham? Or in simple statement, what are the things we're attached to?
First thing is leaning
Om,
on the. Yeah, go ahead, sister.
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
Baba said we want to go with Father means then we have to settle all our belongings. That is expansion. The Father, such as different households of our body, our worldly households, the household of service, the household of our thoughts, and sanskars of our own weakness. Above mentioned, if anything attracted means then Father won't take with him. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Very accurately, just as mentioned, very well. Yeah, these are the households. S- Very correct, sister. Rakhi, sister, you may also share.
I was just sharing the reflection. Baba says you have to leave everything that belongs to wherever you say it's mine, wherever we use the word prefix, my house, my people, my relationship, my car. Just leave all of that to move forward in spiritual journey.
Very correct. I think one important reflection, if we all one discussion, if we have, that would be very great before we conclude. You know, Baba today said that we will have to connect everybody to Baba and not to our own self. Why did why should that be done? Or what would be the consequences if we attach people to us instead of connecting them to Baba? Right, today Baba mentioned that do not have this mind factor with you, but you have to connect everything, every one of them to the unlimited Father. Right? If anybody would like to share, otherwise I'll share the answer soon. Well, Baba, um, I think I can share the answer, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll take the privilege of sharing the answer. Baba says that if you do not connect, first of all, why are we wanting, why Baba wants us to connect everybody to him is that he is the ocean of knowledge and not each one of us are oceans of knowledge. So people who want to have experiences or answers, if they connect to the Supreme, that big library, then they would receive answers. Whereas if we are acting as the Supreme and connect people to us, then we would have to hear to their cries, their sorrows when we leave this place, or let them go away, or we leave the body. So there would be nobody who they should be vouching on to, right? They should have also some backup. So Baba is a supreme backup. If we have to connect, that's why people to him. Otherwise, the consequence would be that we will have to ultimately be responsible for everything that others are going through. Isn't it that Baba I mean, this is a drama. Everybody have their own parts. We are just traveling through them in this drama while creating their fortune as and our fortune as well. So we have to connect them to Baba. Well, that is the thing. And so one last thing, Baba says we have to make other souls embodiments of powers and virtues. We have to make them self-sovereign. Okay? We have to make them powerful, free from obstacles. So we have to empower other souls in this manner. That is creating a quality souls. Okay, so I think if anybody has anything to share or care, do let it out here. Otherwise, we'll maintain silence and depart for the day. Okay. Well, thank you, brothers and sisters. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I hope we had a very qualitative Murli today. That's to merge all expansion into a point. Over to you, Amiben. Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti. Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Vinod Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a lovely day.